there, this is Jonas from the channel That Finnish Whisperer. As you can see, I'm properly plugged in at the moment. I have my headphones and my microphone. And yeah, and today we will be reviewing Wheel of Time Season 3 Part 2. And I am still not very, how do you say it, satisfied with this microphone, this Rode HS2 microphone. It's a pretty quiet mic, but then it has, I don't know, these spikes in the sound, so it requires a lot of post-processing, I guess. You can recommend to me a microphone that is both compatible with the DSLR and smartphone. And I know it's rude to have your phone with you when you are talking to others, but there's a reason that I have this phone with me, and the reason is that I have my Wheel of Time notes in it. So definitely this is not going to be some pro level review video, just relaxing ASMR review or my thoughts about the Wheel of Time Season 3, and mainly the latter half of it, the episodes 5 to 8. I have done previously another video where I did a review of the season episodes 1 to 4, so you should check that out if you haven't already. So there's been a while since I watched the episodes. That's why I need the notes. And I'm sorry, I'm pretty tired. I had a little sleeping difficulties last night, so. But that's the part of the reason I decided to do this recording now. Because I just feel like it. But hey, let's go to the Wheel of Time Season 3. And so the episode 5, Dream Weaver. Dream Weaver is an epic name for an episode. Rand is brought to the Isle clan's home village to be introduced as the Karakar, their prophesied savior destroyer. He befriends a child, learns about the Isle's polyamorous culture and receives lessons on their customs from Avienda, whose first official duty as a wise one is to help him. And not really a wise one, but a wise one student. I don't know the proper word for it. It's a pupil, I guess a pupil, a wise one, wise woman, pupil, I guess. So yeah, Avienda did lose his spear, I guess, in the fourth episode. Yeah. And Moiraine is troubled by a prophecy that she must die for Rand to survive the last battle. Sakarnen, which she retrieved previously. Yeah, Sakarnen, I don't know, it was told that it would be the most powerful tal, sun, tangreal, what was it? Well, a piece of equipment that powers the use of one power. So, I don't know how I feel about that. The Moiran kid got it like so soon. I don't know. Because like if it's the most powerful object, it means that it truly is a very, very powerful object, and I don't know how the Forsaken or other bad guys have any like chances against Moiraine anymore. So Moiraine is also sharing drinks with Lan. Lan comforts her, gives her some emotional support and like that. Okay, yeah, it was a good scene where Lan and Moiraine were drinking some ale drinks. I don't know what was the drinks called. And Egwene is learning to enter and navigate Tel Aran Riod. Tel Aran Riod. That's right, Tel Aran Riod. That's the dream world. And dream world, but it is as dangerous as the real world. You can be killed in it. And the Lanfear, one of the Forsaken, has been tormenting Egwene in dreams, appearing as her dead slave driver Renna and attacking her. Yeah, those were pretty gruesome scenes when Egwene dreamt of Renna still holding her captive. And I think the series has that kind of dark tone in it. Egwene uses her dream walking skill to bring Moiraine into Siwan Sanse's dream. And so Moiraine and Siwan can achieve some more. Yeah, the Tel Aran Riod is very well made, and it's just a bummer that Egwene seems to master it so quickly, so soon. But I guess the TV show is based a lot quicker than the books. Yeah, I would maybe Egwene struggles more later, but it seemed so easy to control the dream world for her. And the one thing that the wise woman, I think, differs from the books very much is that in the TV version the wise ones feels softer and less intimidating compared to how strict and unyielding they were in the books. They were very hard. And in the White Tower, Siwan Sanche, the Amerlin seat, and Moiraine's former lover is secretly working with Moiraine to guide the White Tower to support Rand instead of imprisoning her. Yeah, that's the plan. And allied, now high in the Red Aja ranks, is working to depose Siwan and restore the old ways. And it was surprising that how submissive Siwan was to Elida in her own room. And yeah, I guess Siwan suspects that Elida is the last member of the Black Aja, or maybe not the last, but one of the last members of the Black Aja, within the tower at least. And yeah, the scene where Siwan and Verin set us a trap using Adeleas to feed intel on the captured dark friends. So they made a trap. They made a trap to Elida with the help of Adeleas, which was a victim of the Black Aja. I guess he was kind of simpleton because of the Black Aja did something to her. So, but Elida is just interrogating prisoners in a secret dungeon below the tower. But Elida is attacked by a grey man assassin sent by a Forsaken. Siwan and Verin save Elida, and yeah, and it's basically revealed that Elida is no Black Aja. She's just an power hungry, and Verin, that she was previously a suspect, is not considered by anyone despite her suspicious role. So, but yeah, I guess Nynaeve and Elaine were the only ones who suspected Verin previously, and they are not in the tower anymore. And Grey Man was as glorious as the previous ones. They are very well made in the series. I don't know if I should be making these kind of hand or scratching sounds or something like that in these videos. I guess I'm just learning the stuff, so I should do something like this because I find it very relaxing in the ASMR videos when something is scratched softly, so not so not fast, really fast, or not so loud that the volume speaks or muddies. Yeah. I don't know. Still learning, I guess. Let's go forward with the episode 4. So, Nynaeve and Elaine with the sea folk traveling to Tanchico learned the sea folk's wind finders secretly used the one power to speed their ships. Yeah. That's how they are so fast with the ships. The wind finders keep their channeling secret from the Aes Sedai to avoid tower rules. Nynaeve and Elaine agree to keep this secret as gratitude for their help, and that I think is a good choice because I think the Aes Sedai of this age are lazy, soft, and not so powerful. So yeah, Matt and Min. So Matt meets the Min on the same ship and learn that she's been having visions of his suicide, but that her vision of killing Rand didn't come true. Yeah. Well, at least not yet. So they arrive in Tanchico, and Min joins Nynaeve, Elaine, and Matt. Though Nynaeve is suspicious of her. And I think that as the Black Aja is already exposed and working in the shadows, trying to keep the Dragon Reborn under control feels nearly impossible at this point in the story. at least the tower nose of the black acha. So I don't know how will they be succeeding with it. I think they will have a very hard time. And Perrin is in the two rivers. Perrin and his allies, including Jayad, Pain and Fail, attempt to rescue Matt, sisters and mother from the White Cloaks with the help of Alana Sedai's magical mist. Yeah, that was a very cool mist that Alana channeled above the White Cloaks camp. Alana's warder Maxim was angry with Alana because Alana didn't want to revenge the other warder's death, and that's why Maxim leaves. And this was before the rescue. These notes are not always in correct timeline order. So they succeed rescuing Matt's sisters, but Perrin finds Matt's mother is burned alive, and that's because she was seen channeling the one power, so they decided to torture and burn her. So Perrin comforts White Cloak leader Dane Bornhold, whose descent into cruelty he blames on Perrin. Fail helps Perrin, and Alana survives an attack thanks to Maxim's return. Yeah, the White Cloaks ambush Alana, and she fights against them, but Maxim comes and rescues her, because Alana didn't survive against all the White Cloaks, which is, I don't know, I want to think in this world the magic really is an overpowered ability, and as one battle hardened and battle tested, I said I should take out 20 White Cloaks. I think. So this sequence was well made, but the number of the White Cloaks was surprisingly low. Where were the rest of them? Like, it seems that there was like 20, 25 White Cloaks, but I think there should be hundreds of them. So what the hell were they? And Alana's performance in a few scenes felt more like stage acting than TV, and some of the dialogue throughout the episode was awkward or clunky. Yeah, that was strange. So Rand retreats to the two rivers in his dream, and Lanfear joins him, who professes her love and offers to help him, even at great costs. And at the same time, Egwene visits her friend's dreams, and this is one trick that was in the books very hard, but Egwene just now seems to be doing it weird. So Nynaeve is with her daughter. She had in an alternate reality. Elaine is a Windfinder partnered with Avienda. Windfinder. And Matt is happy and surrounded by family, including his alive mother. Yeah, Matt was very happy. He was very proud how long he had gotten. And Perrin is a blacksmith again, with his full of companion Hopper and Fail. And now Egwene quotes Rand and Lanfear kissing, and I think that's the end of the episode. My opinion about this episode is that the episode had a lot of scenes that didn't move the main plot forward, feeling more like a breather than a key moment in the season. But maybe that is what is needed to story really make an impact later on. So yeah, it feels like a filler, but I guess we see it in This episode features a memorable drinking song performed by Elaine with Matt and Tom Marilyn, which was a nice surprise to see Tom appear in the song. And they need to help her cover her true identity as a princess and Aes Sedai in training. The performance is lively, cheeky, and gives the characters and viewers a breather from the plot. Yeah. I think it was a fun scene, very fun scene. I think it was made quite good. It was on the edge of being cringy. And I think Tanchico seems like a really grim place. Yes, it was very dark place. I don't remember it being that dark in the books, but I could remember wrong. And I have noted, but maybe it was shown more from a child's perspective. That could be true, because the scene I'm referring to is the Leandrin's childhood scene. So after the night out, that night out features the hills of Tansikusong. After their night out, Nynaeve and Elaine are ambushed by the Forsaken Mokidian, who hypnotizes them into revealing secrets about their quest, including their success in finding one of two magical bracelets needed to control a powerful color for Rand. Despite their supposed strength, both women are left powerless and manipulated, which is a dark and unsettling moment. Yeah, Mokidian had a very easy time with the woman, and it's good that she likes to play with the people, so she didn't kill them or burn them with the manipulation magic. But I think Mokidian feels a bit too creepy and petty, and mind control seems little too overpowered, and she did find the woman little too easy. So I think that scene overall was too easy for Mokidian. And she didn't really cover her tracks, probably out of arrogance. Yeah. And the Black Ajah is in disarray. Leandrin kills her own lieutenant Naomi for double crossing her, while Mokidian kills another member to get information. Leandrin's ambitions to become a Forsaken herself are revealed. In the scene between Lanfear and Leandrin, Lanfear's teleportation was really clumsy. Magic shouldn't work like a horror movie, or it kind of ruins the feel. And yeah, that scene was so cliche, where Leandrin turned her head and Lanfear just teleported right beside her. That was stupid. So Egwene confronts Rand about his involvement with the Lanfear. Their breakup is messy, with Rand acting dismissively and Egwene ultimately revealing that she knows Lanfear has been tormenting her in dreams and that Rand has known about it. Rand's anger at Lanfear erupts, triggering his powers. Yeah, Rand didn't know about it, I guess. That's why he's so angry about it. And these same scenes we get to see Aiel's farming, and I don't remember it being told about in the book, so that's a fun facts to know about how Aiel survived in the wastes. And in the night, the Forsaken Samal attacks, and that was a surprise. Like, I guess, like Lanfear told him where Rand is, so That's why he decided to attack. And he had some evil eye followers and Rand Avienda kill Samael or win him. Tragically, Rand's young friend Alcera dies in the collapse, and his powers cannot save her, underscoring the limits of magic, so you cannot revive anyone when they are dead. So apparently Lanfear told him where Rand was and believed Rand would defeat him. Samael lost surprisingly easy, and Alcera's death was a shame. Yeah, Samael was easy to defeat. Surprisingly easy, I would say. Alana Sedai, badly injured in the Two Rivers, is healed by the channeling talents of the Cawthon sisters, Bode and Eldrin, under her instruction. So it wasn't Matt's mother who could channel, but the sisters, Matt's sisters. So Alana then heals Perrin, who later shares an intimate, dramatic backstory exchange with the Vale. Yeah, Perrin tells Vale that he actually killed his wife accidentally. The blood of Two Rivers is strong. I'm curious to see how powerful channelers will come from there. Yeah, it's curious to see. Is there another 9 level channeler? But Fane, disguised as a white cloak alley, leads Trollocs and human darker friends to infiltrate Dyne-born Halt's forces, setting the stage for an assault on Two Rivers. Perrin is now forced into the role of leader and protector. But on Fane's troops arrive at the White Cloaks camp. They are so bloody and messy looking, but I guess Bornhald doesn't care anymore. And the Two Rivers seemed a little too little place, little too few people there. From the books I got the impression that it was a bigger place with minor villages beside it. And this episode starts with a flashback where Liandrin as a young woman kills her abuser, and then Ishamael appears offering his support. That was a fine scene, and I think it showed that Ishamael has been working behind the scenes so longer time that the show has been running. So, and like Liandrin has a great motive to turn to the dark side. In the books I don't remember her motives being this clear. And as I said previously, Tom Merlin's return was a very, very fun thing. It was good to see Tom. And that was the episode 6, and next up we have an episode 7. Hello. Now it's the time for episode 7 recap and review. As you can see, we have changed rooms. I changed clothes. I don't remember, did I even change a haircut between the takes, but it's been a couple of weeks after I recorded the first 4 episodes. No, the first 2 episodes. So now we have only the last 2 episodes to be reviewed. Yes. And I've changed my mic to the DJI wireless because because I recently made this mic comparison video, and it showed me pretty clearly that my Rode HS2 was generating excessive amount of static noise. So I think this DJI wireless mic produces a greater sound. So I have my notes here. It's been like a month since I watched The Wheel of Time, so I truly need a refreshment for my memory. And we have episode 7 here. Episode 7, Battle Flag. Battle Flag. That's a nice name for an episode. And I set my notes. Here. Yeah. I wanted to record this latter half in a more darker environment, and this I got from this Finnish ASMR artist called Mark O ASMR. He likes to record his videos in a dark environment, so I think that's a nice way, and I'll definitely try it myself also. So episode 7, Wheel of Time, Battle Flag, and this episode, yes, this wasn't the Perin Ibarra episode. It mainly focused on the two rivers and Perin, and of course the big upcoming battle for two rivers. And I'm sorry, I have to correct my previous sayings. The Battle Flag wasn't just my title for this episode. The real title is Golden Eyes. Golden Eyes. And Perrin and his friends prepare for a major stand against the threat of both white cloaks and Trollocs. And of course the Trollocs' dark fiend allies. So the villagers and Perrin and his troops, they fortify the two rivers before the battle. And there's this narrow mountain pass that they defend. I think that was a little low budget stuff for the first battle scene. It wasn't that narrow, and there was quite a few Trollocs and villagers. It was more of a village fight than a real big battle. So that's a shame. And that battle starts at day. It was in daylight. The Trollocs tried to advance through the fortifications, but the two river fellows mainly shoot them with arrows, and Alana and local channelers combined their powers for magical attacks, including a notable ice attack, and that ice attack was quite well made. It looked and sounded great, but also it was only one attack. It wasn't that powerful, and there were not so many Trollocs, so. But after that ice attack, the Trollocs decided to retreat. And I've made some notes that the village of Two Rivers seemed smaller and more surrounded by forests than I imagined. I always pictured it as having more open areas with the forests farther away. I also thought there would be more buildings. The way the trees were cleared was strange. Left way too close to the village. For defense, it's important to have a big open space so the archers can shoot further. Then again, the longbows of the two rivers weren't even mentioned until later. So yeah, what I thought that they would clear more open space around the village, and I thought that the two rivers definitely would be a bigger place. The forests were way too close. But yeah, I hope I'm not too negative about the series, because I like it. I like much of it, but then it could be due to the fact that I am a fan of the books. I like the world of the books, so in a way that helps me to like the TV show more. So then we have some maximum jokes with Alana about the likelihood of dying. So they didn't think that they would win. And Perrin tries to get Vale to leave the town for safety. And Loyal tries to free the Isle maidens from their bond by losing a game on purpose, but accidentally strengthens their bond instead, and that was a very fun scene. I think that showed another side of Loyal. And Cotton sisters seems to be having fun with their new magic abilities. So, and as the daytime battle is ended by the Alana's ice magic. And okay, so let me see my notes. The way the village prepared for war was done really well, and I still wonder how the Tuatans managed to survive the Trollocs, because Trollocs aren't usually merciful to anyone. There was a great scene with the Isle looking down on the Tuatan, not realizing that they were actually their original kin, the true Isles, the real Isle. And Alana just becomes hotter and hotter as the show goes on, and that's a damn fact. That's a damn fact. The Wolf brother moment gave me chills. Just amazing stuff. Let's go, Perrin. Yeah. And Perrin really showed great leadership while negotiating with Bornhold. Lord Luke's role is pretty strange and mysterious. Yep, Perrin negotiated with Dane Bornhold, and Bornhold is the leader of the White Cloaks, and Perrin tries to get him to help the villagers in exchange that Perrin surrenders to the White Cloaks' judgment after the battle. But Bornhold didn't agree to that. And then Perrin notices that the Trollocs are unusually organized, fighting with purpose and armor. Yeah, there was. My notes are not in proper order, so excuse me for like being a little out here. And so the Tuatans came to the village. They take refuge in the village and are tasked with helping the children to escape. yeah, in case the Trollocs make it to the town, the Tuatan should take the children out to safety, or at least as safe as it could get. And I think it's now when the villagers say about the two rivers longbows, and I know they are not fighters, but at least in the books, the town has an history of great archers and staff usage. They had these competitions with the bows and staffs. But yeah, I think the villagers saw Alana and his warden Maxim that they have these better longbows than they are used to. So yeah, about the loyal and the maiden. The loyal agreeing to the maiden's kiss was a surprise, but he had a good reason behind it. Perrin, yeah, he just wanted to like free the maidens from the bond, from the thought they had for loyal. But that didn't backfire, because they, in fact, the maidens, in the end of this maiden's kiss scene, the maidens had more thought against loyal than before. Yeah, it was a fun scene. So Perrin is still choosing between the axe and hammer, and there was this one scene before the fight where Perrin started singing, and that was super weird, because the song at the start of the battle sounded like it was recorded in a studio, so it was mixed very poorly. It didn't sound at all realistic. That was an odd. The battle itself seemed a bit too chaotic, and the archers' distances were pure Hollywood. Those bows do real damage even from farther away. I honestly thought Alana was going to die. The arrow was so thick, but she survived. Yeah, the Trollocs ambushed the villagers from the rear gates, I guess, from the mountains, and they did shoot Alana. He got hit, but another two rivers woman saved him and died while saving Alana. During the defense, it turned out that White Cloak's reinforcements were actually Fates. No, not Fates, but Trollocs and Dark Fiends. I think there were not any Fates in the battle, and that's weird, because Fates usually lead Trollocs. But also we saw Badan Fane slaughtering some Fates before, so maybe he killed them all or something like that. The surprise attack went surprisingly poorly, even though the enemy clearly had the upper hand and the defensive structures didn't really help much. Yeah, that was strange, but let's not get into it that deeply. Loyal, Bane and Siar go to the way gate to stop Trolloc reinforcements. Loyal tries to destroy the gate from inside, fails to break the gate itself, so he destroys the land bridge instead, sending himself and the gate plummeting into a bottomless chasm. And I don't know if they did really kill him or not. In a sense, it would be impossible for him to survive that fall, but inside the way gates, I don't know how they are created in this series, but in the books I think I remember, if I remember correctly, that would be an endless fall until you would die, like from hunger or something. Eamon, an enemy of Perrin's group, is burned alive by the powerful Carlton sisters, and Alan laughs at his death. And Walter's death was a surprise. It's a big surprise. The fight scenes overall were well done, but there was a bit too much role of cool, especially with the file. Trollocs have thick hides and knives just don't work against them. A short sword would have been more realistic. Perrin finally took up the hammer alongside the axe, but he hasn't given up the axe yet. When Loyal sacrificed himself at the Waygate, the Isles, they defended it, but it was strange that they didn't even try to ambush the enemy when the enemy came to the gate. And eventually they did lose the battle. But it was super strange that the Trollocs took them as hostage. That's not their style. So in the end of this episode, the Isle were spared, even though they lost the battle at the Waygate. Strange stuff. The pacifist Tuathan take refuge in the village, and they had this task of saving the children, so they take the children and try to get out of the town through an underground tunnel, and then there's this single Trolloc that pursues them, and that was weird. Why was there just one Trolloc moving around strangely? A scout maybe, I don't know. And Aram finally picked up the sword, kills the Trolloc. It wasn't like an ape-like Trolloc, moved with 4 legs. And that was a sad scene because the Tuathan eventually exiled him, but Perrin welcomes him as a new blacksmith to the town. Or I don't know if it was Perrin or was it some of the woman who welcomed him. But it was a super sad moment because Aram had to leave his family. His mother refused him straight away, and that was super sad stuff. And the White Cloaks eventually come to the villagers' aid to help in the defense, and Perrin keeps his word and turns himself into the White Cloaks at the end, even as he is hailed as Lord Perrin Goldeneyes, a new hero with Mannereten, Manetheren. The villagers create a new banner for him with the wolf's head, sigil. So yes, as I said, I was surprised that Bane and Sayajad were still alive at the end. And I think that was that for the episode 7. But as a closer, a good episode, but I just feel that a lot of the potential was missing. So's strong point shows that these bigger battles are really not the show's strong point. Yeah, and that was the episode 7. And the episode 8, Make It Rain. Episode 8, Make It Rain. And I think that the first seasons and second season's finals were a little letdowns. But that's not the case with the third season's final. I think the third season's final is just great TV. So basically, Rand and his people are going for they are going to this place called, I believe I said it previously. They are going to this place. No, well, I don't remember it. Hey, but one thing I did miss from the episode 7. I had to say it now. So the Badan Fine was leading the Trolloc attack, and Perrin eventually defeats him. But Perrin doesn't kill him. He makes this. Perrin makes Badan Fine to command the Trollocs to retreat. So Perrin spares him, but let's see if that backfires or not in the future. But back to the episode 8, we get to know that there's 10,000 Tardad Isle. I don't know if that's the amount of isles that are with Rand at the moment, or if there are 10,000 Tardad Isle fighters. But for fun, well, I won't spoil the books, but comparing to the books, I think that's a low number, 10,000 Tardad Isles. You should definitely multiply that by 10. And then we get to know that Sammael isn't actually dead. Moiraine is keeping him shielded and demands he teach Rand how to use the One Power. So Rand and Egwene divide Lanfear in the dream world, and the Aiel are heading towards Alcaerdal. And Melindra, an Aiel from Lan's people, is revealed to be a dark fiend. No, it's a friend. Dark friend. So in Alcaerdal, Rand has to prove himself as Karakarn to the other Aiel clans, and the Shaido Aiel clan has put forth an impostor, Coladin, that is Sevanna's son, with a fake dragon tattoos given by Lanfear. So Lanfear is pissed off at Rand and all the others. And Rand reveals in Alcaerdal, Rand reveals the truth about the Aiel's pacifist history, the way of the live, and he wins their allegiance and demonstrates his power by making it rain in the desert. And this session in season 4, because this episode ends with the rain Rand makes, and that was a great scene because the water is like close to sacred to the isle, so it was a powerful scene. And that was strange that Coladin didn't attack Rand or anything, even though they said so. But they also said that Al-Qardal is a sacred ground, so there should be no bloodshed in there. So Moiraine, with the magical Sakarnen crystal, duels Lanfear attacks Moiraine. This is some way from the Al-Qardal. And Lan joins the fight after being tipped off by Melindra. So Melindra sacrifices her soul to help, because if you betray the Dark One, you lose your soul forever. And so Melindra was ordered by Lanfear to kill Lan, but doesn't go through with it. Betraying the shadow leads to a soul's destruction. Lan uses his sword. It's debatable if it's magic infused or not. Moiraine and Lan force Lanfear to flee, and Lanfear is badly wounded at a battle, but I think she can heal himself or something. And it was, sad to say that it was more rule of a cool duel than a realistic one, because Lanfear is given plenty of time to heal her wounds, while the legendary killer Lan just stands there and turbocharged Moiraine decides to take a break from channeling. I have a problem with this relic that Moiraine has. It is supposed to be a super powerful one, but somehow she seems to be less powerful than Lanfear. That just is something I just can't agree with. Sakarnen should be so powerful. They said it in the TV show. But then we get to the real dark stuff. In the beginning of this episode, we see Elida visiting the Isle of Finn 10 years ago. And this took me by a surprise, because I really didn't thought that the Isle Finns would be included in the show. I think they would be something like Tom Bombadil of the Lord of the Rings, that it would be too strange to be included in the show. Then we saw Siwan Sanche being voted as Amerlin. And then we get to the present age, and Elida is shaming behind. Amerlin sits back. So the plot was to get Siwan's allies out of the tower. I think the red ones were going after the dragon, so all Siwan's allies went after the red Aja. But Elida surprises everyone with a vote to depose Siwan Sanche as Amerlin's seat and replacing her. Siwan is accused of conspiring to find a dragon reborn. She was guilty of that, and of being a dark fiend. That was not true. And they vote Siwan out, and it was quite a merciless action. They vote her out, and then they just lock her up. And first act is to steal and execute Siwan. And Siwan gave this nice speech about change and loss of control. And Elida seemed a little moved by the speech, but his right-hand woman executes Siwan's sons, and that was a huge surprise for me, definitely a huge surprise. I think this all happened quite easily, maybe too easily, but maybe Siwan just didn't make enough allies in the tower. But the execution of Siwan's sons was a brutal scene, and Moiraine felt that execution, and that helped her to build up the rage to defeat the Lanfear in the duel. And in the Tanchico, Matt finds a red doorway and meets an elfin. I'm not sure if they're elfin or elfin. There are like two races, at least in the books, but I don't know how the TV show goes, if they are elfin or elfin. So this demon cryptically grants him 3 wishes. The elfin first erases Matt's false memories, grants him immunity to the One Power, and Aes Sedai, and returns him to his dimension. But Matt emerges hanging from the doorway, as Min foresaw, almost killed because he didn't bargain properly. He forgot to say that he should be returned safely. And well, Min saves Matt from the hanging death, and there was also this Black Aja sister there. And Matt awakens with the fox pendant and the memory caps. And that pendant gave me chills. Good stuff is really coming. Yeah, that's a cool power to have. That the One Power doesn't affect him. I think that's a pro, because well, obviously they cannot heal you, but also I don't know what are the limits of that. If you throw something with One Power against Matt, does it work or not? I think we'll see that. But I think the immunity against the One Power is based on that fox pendant. So if he keeps the fox pendant on, then he's immune, but if he takes that off, he is not. So in the Tanchico Palace, Elaine and Tom are facing the Black Aja sister. The Black Aja sister has this staff that creates pale fire, but the Black Aja sister doesn't have any control of the staff, so she shoots it everywhere. But Elaine grabs the pale fire weapon, vaporizing the dark friend and erasing the last minute of time. And I think this demonstrates Elaine's skill with One Power equipment. Dark Sister was not in control of the rod. Then we have a scene where Tom warns Elaine about the Lord Gabriel, suspecting him to be one of the Forsaken. Tom urges Elaine to warn her mother, and Rahvan allies with Lanfear against Moghedien after seeing the horror Moghedien inflicted on Samael. And that was after, so the Moghedien killed Samael in a horrific way, and that Samael's death was a surprise. I don't know if they had any plans for him, but decided against it later on. I don't know. I really thought that he would help Rand to control the One So the balefire it erases some of the time. I don't know how to explain it, and I don't know if the TV show is accurate about how it erases time, but I guess we'll see in the future. And Liandrin and her minions search for the collar to control the dragon reborn, but find the wrong one. They don't know that it's a simple bracelet when not paired with the victim, but Nynaeve knows this and finds the artifact. Liandrin steals the real collar from Nynaeve, leaving her bound and drowning, hoping to kill the most powerful channeler in 1,000 years. Nynaeve, using her love for her alternate reality child, regains her connection to the One Power, parts the sea and escapes. I was really hoping we would get a showdown between Nynaeve and Mokedian, or at least Nynaeve versus Liandrin. But yeah, maybe in the 4th season. Liandrin partners with Mokedian, each plotting to use the other and climb the Forsaken ranks, a beautiful sociopathic friendship that is. And in the end we see some montage about the stuff that is currently going on. So Perrin is captured by the Children of Light. Rand is seeking for the calendar, the magical sword. Moiraine is grieving for Siwan, and she must rally the White Tower behind Rand somehow. So, new power players emerge: Elida, Rahwin, Lanfear, Mokedian, and Liandrin. But yeah, those were my notes of the show so far. So I am really intrigued about the 4th season. I think the show has steadily improved over time. So maybe the 1st season was okay. The 2nd season was a little better, excluding the final, which was a big letdown. But I think the 3rd season has stepped up very much, and it is a very good show currently. So I'm really looking forward to season 4, and I don't know when that is released, if it's like the end of 2025 or in 2026. I hope it's sooner than later. But I would like your opinions about the show. Do you like it, or is it fantasy crap? And if you did like this video, please comment below and like the video and subscribe to the channel and every other stuff. Especially I would like some feedback of the audio quality. Is it decent enough with this wireless DJI mic, or should I get a real condenser microphone? Yeah. As always, a new video every Friday, and we will see you in the next video.